Gemini, my 20 twin twins. Here we are, Gemini, January 2020. You made it, and we are here. If you are new to the channel, what's up? Glad we found each other. And if you are returning, glad you made it back. And thank you for believing in yourself and for believing in the channel. All right, Gemini. What's going on this month, Gemini, with like the possessiveness this month, Gemini? This month, Gem, there's a real stress this month in understanding like sharing and understanding like the beauty in sharing and the beauty in compromise along with the sharing, Gemini. You know what's really interesting, Gem, is I keep on hearing what's yours is mine and what's mine is ours. Very, very interesting, Gemini. This month you're trying to gain like a perspective regarding an external person, place, or thing that's around you, Gemini, and it's becoming like a very frustrating thing for you, or this is bringing a lot of frustration to your like emotional body, Gemini, where it's like you love and want to be around this person, place, or thing, but at the same time, it's kind of like you don't understand their or its ways. And you're really trying to grasp that concept, Gemini. And it's very interesting that this is coming up for you this month, Gem, because you're all about gaining other perspectives and you're open to hearing other perspectives and you love that communication and going back and forth and hearing the other side. But hearing the other side, Gemini, is much different from understanding or understanding the other side. And I feel, Gem, that there's like this tension this month with you regarding you are trying to, like I said, understand the other side or understand the other side. And it's like there's going back to this possessiveness. It's Gemini, it's almost as if like you're afraid or you have a fear of losing control regarding allowing this other person, place, or thing from like sharing or taking a piece of your resources or of your generosity, Gemini. When we crave to understand the other side, Gemini, or the perspective of the other side, we have to put ourselves in that person, place, or thing's shoes. Absolutely, Gemini. But at the same time, in order for us to really gain an understanding or an understanding of the other side, we must compromise, Gemini, within the process of the relationship or of the situation or of the relation. And Gemma, I'm also feeling like you are like going round and round in circles with yourself, where it's like that frustration. I can hear a lot of you kind of saying to yourself, like, in your own solace, like saying, why can't I just get it right? It's not working. It's not working. Like, and you have this frustration and you are trying to, you're compromising yourself, Gemini, within the process of trying to understand this person, place, or thing that's external to you, Jen. And this possessiveness, it's almost as if like you have a really big apprehension in letting go of your resources, Gemini. And there's also something here too, Gem, that has a lot to do with like you almost feel like indebted to this person. So it's like you are pursuing this feat upon understanding the other side. And okay, you want to, Gemini, really badly. There's a part of you that wants to like trust this person, place, or thing. And it's almost as if like you want to see them or it within that positive light, and you have. But there's this other part of you that is like, I can't let that, whatever that is, go. And I won't compromise upon that because they or it does not deserve what I have worked hard for. Very interesting, Gemini. Maybe this person, place, or thing has taught you a lot about yourself and has taught you, has taught you a lot about, Gemini, like about persistence and about like resilience, I feel. And I feel like the relationship or the situation is changing, and it's taking a or going in a different direction, Gemini, and it's kind of worrying you because you may not have a lot of confidence within this other person to like really trust them in terms of like have they really changed or can they uphold more responsibility, which is very interesting, Jem, because if you really think about it, that's a reflection of, I feel like, something inside of you, Gemini, where it's like, can you trust yourself regarding this shift of resonance with this person, place, or thing? Can you change and can you uphold more responsibility or a different texture of responsibility regarding upholding the new vibration of this relationship? Hope that makes sense, Jim. But there's definitely some like possession this month where it's like it's almost like you just I just heard Gemini where losing control is not an option. Hmm. Sometimes losing control, Gemini, is the only option, because that's when then, Gemini, we really stumble across our strength and we stumble across our vulnerability. And that's when we understand, Gemini, that it's okay to be vulnerable. And we've been talking a lot about this these past few months, Gemini, and especially last year, about vulnerability and how there's so much strength in vulnerability. And it's almost too, Jim, as if like there's a part of you that wants to, that like doesn't want things to change, because if they remain the same and not change, that's like your comfortability in terms of like your fence of control regarding like you know how to handle every situation in the event that A, B, or C happens with this person, place, or thing. But I'm feeling like you, Gemini, you're fighting the inevitable. And two, Jim, it's also like Gemini, when we're able to identify a trait, within another person or something that's external to us that we don't like or that we find distasteful, the only reason why we are able to identify that trait as being distasteful is because you have identified that within yourself. And then it's like that mirroring effect that's kind of going on or playing out. So I feel this month, Gemini, this month is asking of you. I just heard God is asking of you, Gemini, to loosen the reins a little bit this month regarding control and regarding like possession of your resources and possession of the relationships that you hold and that you keep. Because, Gemini, like within the vibration, gem, of fearing of losing control, you are going to inevitably shift that and cause situations or that situation to be out of control. Because with control, Gemini, there comes a lot of um fear, fear of not being able to rise to the occasion, or fear of walking into the unknown. And hey, I can understand that up to a certain point, but how do we ever grow, Gem? How do we ever transcend our inner strength if we don't walk into the unknown, or we don't embrace the, I just heard, causality of change and of shifting, like a paradigm, or shifting of our perception of what it is to share. There's a very interesting dynamic, Gemini, where it's like possession and sharing and understanding how those two relate for you and how one affects the other and how they both trigger you both at the same time. But it's really like you maybe not communicating authentically, or you may be saying certain things that uphold the old way how things used to be with this person, place, or thing. I know I'm kind of like jumping back and forth from different situations or different timelines here, Gemini, but I think if you resonate with this, you are understanding kind of what's coming through for you here this month. Gemini, the Emperor here being at the, top center of your reading, the Emperor has a tough responsibility, Gemini. An emperor is not like a king, like the king of coins or king of pentacles here at the bottom. An emperor rules or reigns over an empire. But at the same time, an emperor must understand, Gemini, like when he or she must get off of their throne and actually be an active participant in seeing their empire grow and flourish because of and within their favor. You can do it, Gemini. It's like I'm hearing like a mere fact of willpower. So this month here, Gem, is really asking you of how you view sharing, how you view resources, how you view what is your perception of what you deserve, what other people deserve, and what deserve means. And do you or other people, places, and things only deserve certain things regarding how much work they put in? Possibly. But that, I'm using air quotes here, work can be manifested in many different ways, Gemini. Physical work, absolutely. But what about emotional work? What about spiritual work? What about intent? What about work regarding holding the space? Deserving because of putting the work in is a very like multifaceted concept, Gemini. And this month you're being asked to grant yourself the opportunity to understand that and to transcend the way that you view what you deserve, what others deserve, what you're willing to share, what you're willing to compromise, what you are also willing to sacrifice as well, Gemini, and getting off of your throne and actually being an active participant within seeing your life and your relationships and situations within your favor. All right, Gemini, that's what I'm getting here for you. Or January 2020, if you'd like to book a personal reading for yourself, Gemini, visit intuitiveperceptions.com. You can also get a hold of me, Gemini, on Facebook Messenger. All that fun stuff and all the links there are down below in the description box below. All right, Gemini, we'll see you next month. And as always, God bless and love and light.